Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to our new episode of our show that we are bringing back. We haven't done this show in quite a while. It's called Friendly Fire. It's our show where we talk specifically about video games or anything going on in the video game industry. I know we've kind of talked about bringing the show back for a while now, and we take a few topics or a topic and we talk about it. And joining me today is Big BS, Bryce Schumacher. What's going on, Bryce?
What's happening, everybody?
And it's been a really crazy last week in the video game industry. And today it's the 1st of July, and we got some crazy news to kick off the month of July. But let's talk
First
about
of
what
the
happened before.
month.
Let's talk about what happened before July started, because
Yeah.
there's a real big game that's coming out this year called Grand Theft Auto 6. We've been waiting for over 13 years almost on this game to come out. And well, Rockstar Games gave us all kinds of information that has really polarized gamers across the board. Um, we finally figured out the price, and there are two editions of this game coming out. There is an $80 edition of the game for $79.99. That's the base edition, the standard edition, if you will. And then there is an ultimate edition of this game. It's coming out, and that's going to cost $99 or $100. This is all your U.S. Currency, by the way.
This might
Um,
be, is this the first game that came out like $80 game price tag? You know what I mean? For
uh-uh,
just the base model?
no, no. Well, the only game that's came out that's been $80 is Mario Kart World or Super.
Okay. On the
I think it's
Switch
like
too?
Super Mario Kart. Yeah, yeah. Super Mario Kart, I
Okay,
believe,
yeah, that's right. That's right.
was the first one. But it didn't have like an Ultimate Edition or anything like that. That was
Right.
it. It was just that. But if you bought a Switch 2, like the model that came with the game, you paid a lot less than you would if you had bought the Switch 2 and then bought the game. So like in that instance, you had a way at the very least to save money on the game had you not bought
Right.
it by itself and you bought it with the bundle. Here,
Yeah. There's just not a lot of games that have been kind of
I
hitting
don't
that
think
price
any other
point yet.
games have been $80 except Super Mario Kart. So anyway, GTA 6 has only had two trailers in the last 3 years now. We still don't have a third trailer, which is kind of weird considering they just announced all this information about GTA 6.
Yeah, the pre-orders are
Um,
open. They dropped a bunch of screenshots, but it's like, who wants that? Like,
yeah, we want to see the game. So,
mhm.
um, so a lot of people thought, a lot of big industry heads thought, even we kind of thought that this game was going to cost $100, period.
Right.
Some saying the game could have been maybe about $150. Um, I would think for a lot of us, especially those of us that have been waiting for a very long time, we're probably gonna pay whatever they were gonna charge to play this game.
Yeah.
Um, I think some of us have a line. I surely wouldn't have paid $200 to play this game. Um, because that's just absurd, and you're telling the industry, you're teaching the industry
Yeah.
what is okay and what is acceptable.
Well, you don't want to outprice
$80.
people because once you get them in there, they'll spend more money in game eventually once you get online and everything. So you don't want
Absolutely.
to outprice them.
Yeah. Yeah. So Uh, I I I didn't like that. I didn't like it when Nintendo did it with Super Mario Kart, where they made it 79 or $80, whatever you want to call it.
Right. And it's not even
And
going
I
to be
was,
anywhere close to what GTA 6 is as far as like cost of development, you know what I mean, and time put into it.
I think it cost
So,
Rockstar Games like $3 billion to make this game,
right.
which is
Yeah.
insane. I mean, we all know what to expect with a Rockstar game. It's going to be a massive game. It should be a fun time.
Lots of licensed music,
Yeah, I
probably
mean,
some
lots of
celebrities, voices
yeah,
acting in there. I know,
yeah.
I think T Pain has got like a radio station
Oh,
on there or
really?
something. Like he's one of it was
That's
he couldn't
funny.
say a lot about it, but he's in GTA 6 somewhere.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
I
so
know they go all I know Rockstar Games is that company that goes all out when they have the money, and here they spared obviously no expense. However, I have a few feelings about this. But first of all, there is an Ultimate Edition. It's $100. With that Ultimate Edition, you get access to several stores. You get like access to a tattoo shop. So they are limiting, in a way, some accessible places in the game that they are locking behind the extra $20 price tag. Now, keep in
Right.
mind, these are optional. These are not necessary to play the game. These are not
Right.
anything that's going to impair your ability, I don't think, to enjoy the campaign because they did announce that when this releases, it is strictly a single player experience, which I mean, that's not a surprise because GTA
Yeah.
5, when it released in September of 20, I think it was 13, um, it was only a single player mode, and then it didn't have online until 2 weeks after, which was October the 1st. So I
Right.
would imagine that's the same case here is they're gonna wait. I don't know if it'll be 2 weeks. It might be a
Right.
month, maybe two. However, I would imagine there's gonna be so much stuff to do in this game that you're gonna be fine not playing it online for at least a month or so.
Oh yeah.
Um, I don't know if they're gonna charge. Do you think that they'll charge for the online this time around?
No, I don't think they'll charge separately.
Okay.
Because they are giving away a free month of the GTA Plus when you pre-order. So I think that
Well,
with I think they're kind of, trying to hope more people get into the subscribing to the GTA Plus.
yeah.
Because you get like I think what like a $1 million every month or something like that, and
Yeah,
then
you get
like
real
you
ridiculous
get like a
yeah.
new vehicle or a new like look like a shop or
You
whatever,
get
what I mean.
access to all the other Rockstar Games
And you
library,
get
which is
other
kind of
games too.
nice.
Yeah, you can play Red
Yeah.
Dead and
Now I will tell you, if you don't know this, I don't know, Bryce, have you already pre-ordered the game, Bryce?
not yet. I'm saving up the rest
Okay.
of my Microsoft points so I can get it for free. I'm gonna go.
Okay.
I've got like 79,000 right now, which is
Okay.
like $79. But
Yeah.
I've got time to go all the way for the hundred
Yeah,
dollar bundle.
you'll get it
So
for free for sure.
yeah,
Well, I want to let everybody know if you didn't read the fine print, and I found this out about a day or so after they announced this. Um, you do get GTA Plus, like Bryce said, if you pre-order and everything. However, it auto renews. So you'll need to go
right.
in there
Cancel
and
it.
you'll need to manually cancel if you don't want to keep now I'm curious. And hopefully me sharing that with those watching, now you know. I'm curious how many people are going to auto renew and not realize that they got locked in or they got auto renewed into a subscription. So hopefully
Right.
people, if you don't want this, if you don't want GTA Plus, um, cancel that before your
I don't
month is
know if
up.
they may raise the price of GTA Plus, but I know like when I had it, it was pretty cheap. It was like five
It's
or
like
six
ten
bucks a
bucks.
month.
It's $10 right now, I think, something like
Is
that.
it?
Eight,
Yeah. So they must
eight,
have
something like
raised
that.
it.
Yeah, yeah, they raised it up a little bit. Um, this issue is twofold for gamers, and I can kind of see things. One, it's an $80 game, and people are not happy with it being $80. There's also $100 version, which locks off some things. I don't really care about that whole not being able to access a tattoo shop and some mod shops or whatever.
Right.
That doesn't bother me. Although I will say I'm probably gonna get the $100 version of the game. Just if I'm already spending 80, what's another $20, right?
Yeah.
However, this I have said numerous times. If I was gonna spend ridiculous amounts of money on a game, it'd be this game because I've waited way too long to just not play it. Like the
Right.
FOMO would be insane for me if I didn't play this when it came out. The big problem though is that this game is they're selling a physical copy of the game, which
Right.
which is only a case with a code. So that to me don't sound like a physical copy. Does that sound like a physical copy of a game to you, Bryce? If
No,
it's just
it's
a
just it's
case
just
with a
a
code in it?
just a bookshelf,
Yeah,
placeholder, just to have something on your bookshelf library. But um,
yeah,
yeah, I'm not excited about that. A lot of games have been doing that lately. I think some of the Switch games were doing that. Um, like
yeah.
if you
Some
like
of
the
them were
Switch
doing
2
that.
games, yeah, they were just downloads only, even if you
Yeah,
bought the physical one.
yeah,
Um, I'm not a
yeah,
big fan of that.
yeah. I'm not a fan of here's the thing, man. Like, and this is gonna take us into kind of like a sort of a bigger topic, which we got news today that this goes correlates really well, unfortunately. My whole thing is, when it comes to physical media, I think it's fine. I don't have a problem with it existing. Um, I think that if people want to buy physical media, it should be allowed to do that. Um, I do think that some people don't realize though that for some games, like these games are not getting any smaller; these games are getting bigger,
Right.
and
Can't
I
fit them on a
feel
disc.
that I feel that there is a sort of antiquification, if that's even a word, of the
Yeah.
industry. Like it's antiquated. Some people want to antiquate it. Um, I get not wanting digital because I myself don't buy physical really for new games. I think majority of my library within the last 5 years has been just about almost always digital games
Yeah. Yeah. For
because
sure.
it's I mean it's convenient. It
Yeah.
is I can preload my game. I don't have to go buy it
Drive
or get a
down. Yeah.
copy in the mail. I don't have to, you can't pre-install on a disc,
I miss the days though
which
when you just
sucks.
put it in and you could play it. You didn't have to
Right?
install
Yeah,
anything or anything
yeah,
back like 360 and
yeah,
before. You know what I mean? Kind of you just put the
yeah,
disc in and
yeah,
maybe there's an update or something that you download, but you know what I
yeah,
mean? That's about it.
yeah.
The thing with like physical copies that I just feel like it's a better way of preserving these pieces of art that people put so much time
Hmm.
into and
Yeah.
in creating it and playing it. So I just hate to see 10, 20, 30, 50 years from now, it's just all gone because there's no servers that are keeping these
Right.
games stored or whatever, I mean, and they never made a physical
Yeah.
copy, so you don't have maybe even
A
the
way to
source code
access
or
it.
whatever, I mean, yeah, to
Yeah.
recreate it if you need to.
I will say that what I'm of two mindsets here on this in this whole thing because basically I have adapted physical me or I'm sorry, I have adapted digital media as my go-to for gaming. Honestly, it's been my go-to really for just about
I mean,
everything.
everything, movies,
I don't
music,
buy yeah, like I don't
gaming.
buy movies, like new movies. I haven't bought man, when's the last time I bought a new movie? I can't even remember the last time I purchased like a Blu-ray. Um
Right. I mean, I
I,
bought a
I
movie but it
don't
was digital, what I mean.
I think when I buy physical music, I buy albums.
Right.
I don't I once again, I think the last time I purchased a CD was maybe 2 months ago, but it was older music, not anything new. I don't
Right.
buy new anything music wise. So our world in other ways has already adapted to digital in digital at like a it's kind of like a give and take because like for instance like I found out this is crazy. I found out the other day I went to Target and I didn't like I don't know how long they've done this, but like it kind of just hit me. They don't sell movies anymore at Target. Physical movies gone.
Right.
They're gone. I went in there and I was like, where are the movies at? Because like they had the albums there and and all that and the books,
Mhm.
and they're usually like in a centralized location next to the electronics place. And I went and I'm like, wait a minute, there's no movies here. When are they like Best Buy got rid of movies completely and physical
Yeah.
music completely gone.
Nobody's buying it. Yeah.
So so the thing about it is like I'm not telling anybody I think you're stupid for buying physical. If that's what you want and that's what you want to do, you should be entitled to still be able to purchase physical. However, what I will say is in the gaming realm, it feels very antiquated to want to have a company with as massive as video games are getting now. Like we don't even know how big Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be. We don't know how many
Right.
gigs. I
I
mean,
mean,
look at
Call
like
of Duty is like 150 right now, so
Call of
you'd
Duty
imagine it's
is
got to be at least that.
right. So for me, I appreciated look, here's an example. This is how old I am. I'm 42. I appreciated, changing out floppy disks to play games like Oregon Trail and stuff on my Apple II when I was a kid when I went to school. But this isn't 1980, six anymore. We're this is 2026. So I feel that digital media can be a good thing because it cuts costs on having to produce physical media.
Right.
However, if you're going to go all digital, then then you need to start selling games at a cheaper cost because you can't have
Right.
games be 80.
We're not seeing that, that trickle down effect of the cost
Yeah.
costing them less.
Yeah.
So it should cost us less.
Yeah. And so my big issue though, my other big issue is there are a lot of content creators on this platform here on YouTube and who do this thing where they talk all about how much they enjoy physical media and how important it is. I'm not going to name names, but like how important it is to keep physical media and to preserve video games. And once again, those are things I completely understand, right? And I agree that it's important to preserve video games, 100%. Like we don't want to lose video games. I don't want
Yeah.
to lose,
Well,
no one,
with
we
anything
shouldn't lose
really,
access
the
to it.
music, the movies, as a human race, or the anthropology of it all, like it's I think it needs to be preserved.
It's important for future generations to be able to access the things we did and had,
Yeah.
even when we're long gone from here. And I respect that. I completely get it. However, what bothers me is you have these content creators who say one thing and then they say another and do the exact opposite. So, for instance, like there's one that immediately comes to mind, and I watch this person all the time. Like I think their content is really good, very popular on YouTube. I won't say who, but they'll do a video about how physical media is super important, and I'm like, I get it. I think your arguments are valid, but then in another video, like could be like two videos later, they talk about how much they love Steam Deck and they love Steam, and I'm like, see, for me, it's this whole thing of can you really say how much you think physical media is important, but then also, and if you're, when those that are watching on YouTube, let us know in the comments below. I would love to hear your opinion on this. Can you really talk about how much you love physical media, but then talk about how much you love Steam? Because Steam is digital media. Steam has been around for almost 23 years. I believe Valve put it out in 2003. So we're going on like almost 23 years, which that's like over half my life, half our lives
Right.
of Steam being around and being nothing but digital media that apparently no one has had a problem with. Now, if people have had a problem, that's news to me because I will say, like, I have been in the PC space, but it wasn't really until lately that I've gotten to that now that I have a nice, somewhat capable laptop that I can game on. But it seems to me people have had no problems buying digital media only on the PC because I know and I know you remember, Bryce, a time when we could go into a place like Babbage's or EB Games or whatever or Funcoland and we could buy physical PC games. Those giant those giant boxes,
Oh, I've still
right?
got some.
Yeah. So, you know, that were two, three, four, five. I mean, tons of discs. And we had to like complete you grabbing one right now? Yeah.
StarCraft 2, if you can see
Yeah,
it with
see,
the
there
green
you go.
screen.
See, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
I pre-ordered this game and went and bought it the day it came out, and I didn't even have a PC because I was just such a big StarCraft fan. Of the first one, I was like, okay, now I have to go
Yeah,
get a
man.
PC because I have this game, like it
Yeah.
forced me to go get.
Yeah. So see, that was back when you could pre-order PC games and you got a physical copy. I remember going into game stores and seeing complete PC gaming section. They would have keyboards, they'd have mice, they'd have mouse pads, and they'd have PC games. And now like the PC gaming section is like gone almost at some places now. Like it's GameStop, I don't even think has a PC gaming section much anymore. But like, but you don't do that anymore. And
Yeah.
I can't even remember the last time I played. Like I don't have a disk drive in my on my laptop. I don't think many laptops at all now sell disk drives.
Yeah.
I can't even remember the last time I owned a computer that had a disk drive, and I actually played a physical PC game. So for me, I find it a little bit hypocritical that there are content creators or people in general out there, more so content creators that have this massive followings that tell people one thing, that talk about the preservation of physical media, but you're participating in a digital marketplace and you're talking about how much you love that and you think that's great and you think it makes gaming more accessible. So then which is it? Do you want, because at the end of the day, and this is my feelings on it, when you are a consumer, and it doesn't just mean in the gaming industry, it could be like in the movie industry, it could be in the television industry, it could be in the fucking like food industry when you go to a restaurant. If you are participating with your wallet and your money and you're buying things from a place and you continuously buy things from a place, you are telling that company and that industry what you are okay with. So if you have been participating in Steam for months, years, you are essentially letting Valve know, who owns Steam, that you appreciate digital media, but then in turn, you are also teaching the video game industry that you appreciate digital media. And so for me, when because we're about to move on to our next to this next thing, because this what I'm about to tell you, what the news that Bryce and I found out today, July 1st, 2026. I feel like because people have been buying on Steam, and it's not just Steam. There's Epic Games. There's the
Yeah.
EA one. There's
A whole bunch of them now. Yeah.
GOG. There's tons of other
Ubisoft
online.
has one, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, there's tons of online marketplace. It's not just Steam, but Steam is the most popular used one.
They were probably the first one,
It's
I
the it's
imagine.
the it's the I feel that by people buying, money is what these companies are going to look at. They're going to look at and they're going to go, okay, what are the trends in the gaming industry? Okay, so we got people buying on Steam for like 23 years. Okay, well, they seem to like digital media. So what do you think the next evolutionary step is going to be for the industry? It's going to be the thing you don't seem to like, but yet you contribute to. And this is why I think it's kind of hypocritical to me,
Yeah.
because you have all these people. I'm not saying every console gamer is a PC gamer. I'm not saying that. But there are a lot of us out there who are console gamers that also game on a PC. We do both.
Yeah.
So I'm more so talking to those of you that do that, not people who strictly play on a console and never play on a PC. And you are the ones that I guess want to remain in the 80s and change out disc. You want to play a 7 disc version of GTA 6. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I think that's ridiculous. But hey, you know what? If you want to be grandfather time on video game, that's on you. I don't care. But anyway, I think it's weird. But if you want that, that's you want to get up and put your disc in every time you go to a new city in the game. That's on you, man. But anyway, PlayStation announced today. This is on the PlayStation blog. This is from Sid Schumann, the senior director of Sony Interactive Entertainment Content Communications. This is on the PlayStation blog. We'll leave a link down in the description below if you want to go look at this. The title of this says, in response to the shifting trends in consumer preference, new games will be released on the PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. I'll read this blog and then we'll discuss here. It's short. It says, as consumer preferences in the broader entertainment industry continue to shift away from physical disc to digital, which I mean, honestly, right? Um, Physical game disc production for all new games releasing on PlayStation consoles will be discontinued starting January of 2028. Well, guys, you got about a year and a half to
Yeah.
enjoy physical media.
Stock up on all your discs.
Stock up on them now. They're all going to go up in price afterwards.
Right.
Um, Following this date, new games will be available on the PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. Um, this transition has no impact on games that already released
More
or will
codes
be
in a
releasing.
case.
Yeah, yeah. This transition has no impact on games that already released or will be releasing prior to the January 2028 in disc format. This is a natural direction for Sony Interactive Entertainment to adapt to consumer trends. I just told you this. I haven't even read this blog until I'm reading it right now for the first time. So what did I just tell you guys? We'll stop here. These companies, they look at these trends, and they're not just looking at trends on console. I'm sure Sony and I'm sure Microsoft saw Steam, and they're like, hey, if people on PC don't have a problem with buying physical or with not needing to buy physical media, and they're totally cool with buying games digitally, why the hell aren't we doing it? Why aren't we getting into a market that we've been missing out on for 20 plus years?
Right. So
And
do you
so
think they're going to discontinue the disk drive that they have, like the separate, you know how you can buy a separate one and attach it now
I
on
think
the
they will
PS5,
discontinue it. I
like
think they will
now, or do you
dis
think they'll wait until 2028?
I think they will discontinue it on their new console.
Oh yeah, well for sure, new
Um,
console,
I
and
don't
that's
think
another
they'll
thing
discontinue.
I was
They
asking
they
about if you
might.
think
I don't think they'll discontinue. Oh wait, like
like
producing it
production of
still?
it, yeah.
Um, they
I
might.
feel
Yeah,
like they'd probably
probably.
stop it now. You know what I mean?
Probably. They'll probably stop production like in like mid
The end of the
2027
year or
next
whatever.
year.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then whatever's out there is what you can get.
yeah.
Um,
So those are going to go up too,
which is going to make
essentially.
those go up a lot as well.
And with the 2028 like window frame time frame that they put up, I'm wondering if that's around when they're gonna have a new console out. You know what I mean? It feels
Yeah.
like that might correlate. You know what I mean? Like new
Mhm.
console, new kind
Yeah,
of
it could be. Yeah,
business
maybe.
transition. Yeah, I
I
think
think
I
it'd be
think
kind of
they'll
weird.
probably announce a newer PlayStation
Yeah, I
by
think it
then
would be
or around
weird
then.
if they didn't already have a console come out between now and 2028.
Yeah,
It'd be weird to do this in a console cycle that has a disc drive.
yeah. So I know
So
Xbox has announced they're working on Project
Project
Helix.
Helix, the hybrid
So
console.
if that's the case, then Sony's working on something too. They're not
Yeah,
just going to sit back and be like, okay, let them do it,
yeah.
whatever. So they've got
But
something in the works that they just haven't announced yet.
the rest of this goes on to say we're adapting to consumer trends as the general preference for digital media significantly outpaces physical discs. This
Oh yeah,
transition will enable us to align more closely with how most of our community prefers to access and play games today. We'll continue to prioritize our resources to drive innovation in how players can access games and provide choices as to where players prefer to purchase new games, whether it's at retailers. I don't think people are doing that, or PlayStation Store. We remain
most
committed to delivering a world class experience to our fans, and we thank you for your continued support. Now, here's the thing about
yeah,
that. I don't think people are gonna if you can just buy it from home. I don't
yeah.
imagine people are gonna go to a store, and I don't think. Now, my question to Sony: are you gonna do what Rockstar Games is doing? Are you gonna produce
Put a
still
case.
like
I doubt it.
a case?
I doubt it. They'll probably just give you
I don't
like
think they will.
a download code on a receipt. You know what I mean?
I don't think they're. Yeah, I don't think they're.
You
I
pay the
don't.
money at the register, it prints out the download code on a long ass
Yeah,
receipt. And
I don't think. I don't think Sony is gonna do what Rockstar is doing and gonna make a case.
no.
Now here's my concern and what I'm curious. How is this going to impact GameStop?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I know GameStop's reading this today and
They're already hurting.
they're
You
probably
know what I mean?
freaking out
The Switch 2
because
can only do so much for physical. You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean I would imagine now that Sony has made is going to set the trend, Xbox is going to do the same thing.
Yeah. I
Microsoft will do
mean,
the exact same thing.
oh yeah, for sure.
You know, they're
Um,
not going to they're going to go, "Oh,
and
well they're
here's the
doing it
thing:
now, so we'll do it now."
the the consumer shifting away from physical media is probably obviously largely due to how convenient everything is, but also
Yeah.
the digital only consoles are usually about $100 cheaper. You know what I mean, or 50 to
Oh
a
yeah.
hundred bucks. So that it's cheaper to be a digital gamer. in that sense, to get your foot in the door with a PlayStation Slim or a
Right.
Xbox, whatever. So that's driving that stat as well, just being able to get in cheaper on a digital console rather than getting the disc, because
Yeah,
nobody's
I
really
mean
using a
it's
Blu-ray drive to watch movies, unless you got like a really killer home theater set. You might want to get a 4K Blu-ray and all this
mhm.
fancy stuff. But for the regular consumer, like, we're just like, yeah, turn on Netflix. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Well, and it just makes me wonder now what the prices of these consoles are going to be because if you're not going to include a disc drive, you'd think they'd be cheaper.
Well, they're all going up
Because
already.
typically, we've seen the cost of the digital only versions be cheaper than the discs. However, like Microsoft just announced, we'll talk about this for a little bit. Microsoft just announced that starting on August 1st, their consoles are going up by $100. Like
Again.
the 1 terabyte Xbox Series X that I have, I'm sure you have it,
Yeah.
is going to be $800, man.
And they're discontinuing the 2 terabyte model
Yeah. So I mean,
because they're like, well, that would probably be $1,000 if they're like, we just won't,
right?
we
Yeah.
won't be able to sell it.
They
Like,
don't want to sell a they don't want to sell a console for $1,000.
no, it won't.
So
Yeah, it wouldn't sell.
and this is the third time that uh, Xbox has raised the price on their console. They've
Yeah.
done it twice
Nintendo
already.
raising their price in September in
Yeah.
some
Do you
regions that
think
they haven't already.
PlayStation's going to announce it's going to raise their prices?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because I mean, they're all buying from the same manufacturer.
They're all buying from
People that
they're
are,
all buying
you
RAM.
know,
Yeah.
yeah, they're all, and there's
The data
this
centers are screwing people
issue
over.
issue with RAM, just yeah, being locked into the AI, the whole AI push and everything. So
Yeah, it
it's hard
sucks.
to get. There's a scarcity. We can only mine the materials so fast and
Are
produce
you
these things.
are you worried that you're going to get priced out of the thing you love to do? Are you worried that eventually it's going to get to a point where you will no longer be able to afford
I
playing
think
video
that
games?
I think once this I don't know, this big AI push and everything kind of fizzles down, you know what I mean? If it ever does, like, kind of
I don't know.
adjusts back, you know what I mean? Like, kind of evens out rather than just full force ahead, kind of starts to plateau a little bit, then maybe
Yeah,
we'll see the prices go back down a little bit.
yeah.
Um, but if they just keep on going up, then I'm just gonna have to enter a lot of contests to try to win a console, you know what I mean?
Eh,
Or just keep playing my old stuff.
I just don't want to spend. Like Steam just announced the price of the Steam
Yeah.
machine.
Well, and that's why
I mean, that's
Xbox
insane.
Xbox has added more like pay later options now, so you can get the console on like a payment plan
Yeah,
through
but
like
not everybody can do
Affirm or
that.
whatever. Exactly. But that
You know.
they just now made that a thing because they know people are
Yeah,
going to start getting priced out of it. So
yeah,
rather than paying $800 or $1,000 all at once, you can pay $100 a month for a year or whatever, to get it paid off.
yeah,
And I've used that a few times on some of my bigger purchases, like my tablet that I got and this
yeah.
e-bike that I got. I'm using Affirm, and it's nice
Right.
because it gives, for me, I don't have great credit, but they still give me 0% interest
Hmm.
as long,
Yeah, I've used
but
them before
you
too.
just have to
Yeah.
pay. You have to pay like a lot at once, or like you have a short term. You can do like 3 months or 6 months. You don't do like
Mhm.
a year or two or three. So it's more
Yeah.
of a short term loan, but you can get a 0% interest. It's nice,
So yeah, Valve announced that the Steam machine, the base price is going to be 1,050, and
right?
then if you want, I think like 1 terabyte, it's like 14, or the 2 terabyte model is $1,428.
Yeah, and
Um,
I'm seeing DIY videos online of how to build your own for half the price.
yeah, I would rather
They'll
do
show you
that.
just buy the pieces and slap them
Yeah,
together, and
I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna buy that thing. That's
no,
stupid.
not at
Like
all.
you can get a much better running. You don't need to spend that much. And the silly part about that too is like there's different pricing without a controller. Like, are we really doing this? Like, are we really doing this to the
I
industry?
don't. Yeah, let me get that without the controller, please. I'll be
Like,
back on my next
but
paycheck to buy a
well, okay.
controller, unless you got
Let
already
me.
have one, like an elite
Yeah,
controller or
I was gonna
whatever.
say like you have to understand this is a computer, so if you have like an Xbox controller, it'll work on that. Like
Yeah,
you don't need Valve's special
design.
controller. You can
Yeah,
have like if you have a dual sense even will work on that. So like if you have an Xbox or a PS4 or PS5 even, you have a controller so you don't need the bundle with the controller. But you know how people are, they want
yeah,
the
yeah,
whole thing. So like I just think it's we're getting into some really crazy territory and like with pricing and the way this industry is evolving, it's evolving into a way I don't like.
right.
Um and I wonder how gamers are going to respond. Like I haven't even really engaged in like any socials. Like I'm on threads and like I haven't really engaged too much on like the overall response. I'm sure the overall response to what Sony announced today is not a very good one. Um I don't know, man. I think I'm worried about this industry that I love so much because I don't like the direction. I don't like the greed. I don't like these data centers that are using and buying up all this RAM and all these chips sets and everything that's making everything else more expensive. I just I don't like that we're getting into $80 games or $100 Ultimate Editions, and I'm not.
Right.
And then one thing I want to talk
And I'm
about
not
too
even getting
before
it,
we
there's no collector's edition. Like back when I bought GTA 5 or 4, like I got the collector's edition and that was probably like
yeah
120 bucks, but I got a bunch of
yeah
like cool shit with it. You know what I mean?
yeah one came with like a duffel bag and you got a bunch of cool shit in it. Like
Yeah.
I know we talked about that
Art
not long ago,
art
but like
books, music, CD,
yeah,
whatever.
my big concern with Grand Theft Auto 6, and we'll end on this note. Is this game going to be as good as we've been hoping it will be? I know they have delayed this game several times in the last decade that we've been waiting for it to come out. Um, they also, people, there's people online saying, we don't need a gameplay trailer. We don't need trailers. We know what to expect. I'm sorry, but we do.
Yeah. I mean it
Every
hasn't been
game,
any gameplay trailers yet. It's all
every
been
game
cinematics.
should absolutely have a gameplay trailer, and it should have had a gameplay trailer when they put the pre-orders up because
Oh yeah.
I am not a
That's a
fan.
huge misstep. Like
Yeah,
your game's finally out. Like why not let everyone know?
yeah, I am
Like
not a fan of any game that starts taking pre-orders and doesn't have any gameplay trailer
yeah.
and doesn't have any
Yeah.
gameplay footage. I don't like that. I think that's bad for the industry. I said on Threads the other day, I said I had a real big hot take, if you will. I don't think that video games should be allowed. And I don't know what industry would have to put a regulation on this. I think there should be a regulation in place that video game companies should not be allowed to show a trailer of a game unless the game is done. Because how often have we had all of these games come out that have had trailers and they get canceled? For instance, Scalebound, Perfect Dark, which looked amazing, canceled.
Right.
That
What's the one?
Senua game probably going to be canceled now. We just saw it like a month ago.
Yeah, Ninja Theory is
Um,
closed.
I
They just
mean,
closed the studio that's working on
yeah,
that was working on the Blade game. The Marvel Blade.
they just closed that. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
so I'm not a fan of showing me something that I'm never going to see again or I'm never going to get. Like I always think back to when Ubisoft showed us a trailer for Beyond Good and Evil 2. Beyond Good and Evil is one of my favorite games they put out. It's a really good game. And they showed a trailer for that game I think like 11 years ago, and we have seen and heard nothing about that game.
Right.
Like they put it in the storage unit. I don't think that anybody. I don't. I think they should not be allowed to show a trailer of a game until the game is done. So we know this is a game we are absolutely going to get to play, and I think it should be in some way not legal to show consumers a product that we're never going to get. Outside of that, um, yeah, Xbox, closing more studios. I mean, this industry is going in such a bad way. It's such a bad
Yeah.
direction
It's like
beyond,
how often do you see a movie trailer And then a week later, they're like, yeah, actually, we canceled that movie. It's like, no, you're actually, once you see a movie trailer that thing's got a date on it, or, like
Yeah, for the almost certain without certainty that movie's
summer
coming out.
2027 or what. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's already,
So
almost wrapped up.
the industry is definitely bruised and beaten, and it's just not good when we got and then the funny part too with Xbox, how are you gonna how are you gonna raise the price of your goddamn console and then go, oh, we're gonna close 4 studios or whatever, however many,
Right.
like my thing with Xbox, man. I know you're a big Xbox dude. That's been your big, your big thing. And it was mine too for a long time. I'm fond of the days of when I started playing Halo on my first Xbox, OG, and all that, and all the memories it gave me. The 360 was was their best era. Um,
Right.
how they went from the 360 era to fumbling, it's so hard. Um, I think Xbox actually has the opportunity to do something really funny with PlayStation announcing that they are not doing physical media. Do you remember when like PlayStation said, "Let us show you how to share a game," and it was them holding a disc and he gave it to his friend, the little funny thing. I think Xbox has the opportunity to do something pretty hilarious here, and they could do. Ashley Sharma could go, well, here's how you can still play video games on our new Xbox console, and she has a disc. They could. I
Right.
mean, honestly, they have such an opportunity to do the right thing here. They probably won't because it's
No,
it's
they'll follow the market.
Microsoft now. They've
Yeah, it's
fucked up so bad. But for me, it's this whole thing of like, how are you gonna I don't see how anybody can trust Xbox with this entire thing they're doing where they have made so many missteps. Like they'll go 1 step forward but 10 steps back. Like they lowered the price of the Game Pass, but now they're talking about how a lot of Game Pass games are probably not going to come out now because their contracts are not looking good. I saw that the other day that there's a
right.
lot of these developers who now don't know if they're going to have a deal for Game Pass. So we don't know what's going to happen with
Oh yeah.
Game Pass.
Every day I look, I open my news app and it's like, we're expecting a ton of layoffs at Xbox anytime now. Like any day, there's more layoffs coming. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't, I don't really hear that much about Sony laying people off. It
Hmm.
seems like Xbox is always just like, it seems
Yeah.
like the last few years they've had layoffs like twice a year. You know what I mean? Just
They
like,
have just done so much damage to their own brand
yeah,
that
they
I
spent
don't
all these
understand.
monies acquiring all these studios just to shut them down. I don't understand it.
Yeah, and the thing about it is like
Is that what you do? Just like buy up all the competition and then close them so you're the only one left?
well, they announced they're putting, they did announce, I don't know if you got the pop-up on your console, but I got a pop-up that said Modern Warfare 4 will not be on Game Pass this year, so you're gonna have to buy it, you know.
Yeah, they did announce that like
They had
Call of
already announced
Duties
that, but
wouldn't be day one games anymore because they're
yeah.
losing too much money on it. Probably, you know what I mean? Like people
Well,
aren't
that's why they
buying.
lowered Game Pass. They lowered Game Pass so that they could take away. They had to figure out what can we get rid of on Game Pass that can justify the lowering the price. So they got rid of Call of Duty,
Right. And they're still trying to recoup the 64 billion they spent on acquiring it.
let's be real here. We only got one Call of Duty day one on Game Pass, and it was probably one of the worst ones ever.
Right. And we didn't get
That game is
any,
so bad. Black
everybody
Ops
was
Black Ops 7 is it now or something like that?
people were
Terrible.
kind of, some people were hoping for maybe a World of Warcraft console port when they acquired them, but that never happened.
No,
But
no, no. But I hope that my biggest fear with Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out, I have a fear that the game's gonna flop. I have a fear that because of all the delays, this feels like such a similar situation to what happened with Cyberpunk 2077, where the game just like there was all this hype around it, there was all this waiting, there were some videos shown and stuff, but like, and then it came out and it just was so bad, like it played terribly, it had glitches, it had bugs,
right.
um, it just didn't operate well on consoles, and it didn't even operate the best on played the best on PC. and then it took a while for that game to finally be the great game it is now. And
Right.
everybody was like, "But it's CD Projekt Red. They can't mess up. They make The Witcher and they do all these other things." And then they messed up. So
Right.
I'm worried that if this game's either going to be the biggest hit ever or it's going to be the biggest flop ever. And I'm hoping it's not a flop.
I think it'll. I mean,
I hope.
even if it like is buggy and glitchy, it's still going to sell, and then they'll fix it like they did with Cyberpunk or No Man's Sky. They'll put in the updates and stuff. But I feel like with all
Right.
the delays that they have put on it already, that it's I think that it will be in good
I
hands
hope,
there.
man. I hope so. But guys,
Yeah.
that's going to do it for this episode of Friendly Fire, where we talk about
Dang.
video games. And we hope that you enjoyed. We're bringing the show back. Bryce and I, we're going to try to do this maybe like twice a month, where we just kind of catch up everybody on the recent video game news and rumors and things like that. And so we hope you appreciated this episode. Let us know in the comments below here on YouTube, your thoughts on anything we discussed today. Let us know all about it down in the comments below. Please do us a huge favor and subscribe to us here on the domain GPC, which stands for gaming, pop culture, and entertainment. Those are all the things we talk about. We also go live on here from time to time. We also go live on our Twitch at twitch.tv/the domain GPCE, where myself and Bryce stream pretty often. And check us out all over the place. And if you want to know more about the things we discuss, we'll leave some links down below so you can check out those news articles as well. But we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.